Imagine a party so exclusive, so legendary, that its very existence has been scrubbed from public record. Not a party, but the party, whispered about in hushed tones yet impossible to verify. What if the most incredible night of your life, the one you desperately wish you'd been invited to, was something that officially never happened? Today we're diving into the chilling legend of the night of the Vanishing Gala, a phenomenon so peculiar, so utterly baffling, that it defies all logical explanation. Forget urban legends, this is something far deeper, far more insidious. For over a decade, scattered fragments of anecdotes, half-forgotten memories, and blurry, almost spectral images have circulated on the fringes of the internet and in hushed conversations among dedicated researchers. They all point to a single, impossible event, a grand, opulent gala held in a remote, forgotten manor, an event attended by hundreds, perhaps even thousands, yet one that history refuses to acknowledge. There are no definitive news reports, no official records, no confirmed photographs. Just the lingering, unsettling feeling of an absence, a void where a vibrant, unforgettable night should be. How can such a significant event simply disappear? And what does its non-existence tell us about the nature of reality itself? To unravel this profound enigma, we must first attempt to reconstruct the hazy contours of the night of the Vanishing Gala as described by its supposed attendees. The stories all converge on a location, Blackwood Manor, a sprawling Gothic estate nestled deep within an ancient forest. Blackwood Manor itself is a place shrouded in local folklore, rumored to be built on an ancient burial ground, a site of unspeakable rituals long before it housed any human inhabitants. Its existence is verifiable. Old maps, land deeds, and even satellite images confirm its crumbling presence. But the gala, that's where the verifiable facts collide head-on with the utterly inexplicable. Initial accounts speak of invitations arriving mysteriously, sometimes without a sender's address, simply bearing a striking, almost hypnotic emblem, a raven perched atop a crescent moon. The paper itself felt ancient, almost alive, carrying a faint, indescribable scent, a mix of old parchment, damp earth, and something else, something subtly metallic. Recipients claimed a strange compulsion to attend, a deep-seated urge that superseded all other plans. It wasn't just FOMO, it was an irresistible pull, a sense that this was their one chance to touch something truly extraordinary. Who sent these invitations? The stories diverge wildly from an enigmatic benefactor to a secret society, but no sender was ever definitively identified. And then the journey to the manor itself. Attendees describe a long, winding path, barely visible, seemingly appearing only for them, leading into the heart of the foreboding forest. It was a journey into the unknown, a descent into a world where the ordinary rules had begun to fray. As the night progressed, according to the fragmented accounts, the Vanishing Gala spiraled into an experience unlike any other. The manor, despite its exterior decay, was said to be lavishly decorated, filled with exotic flowers that emitted a strange luminescent glow and hauntingly beautiful music that defied any known genre. But it wasn't just the aesthetics that were bewildering. The guests themselves were a disparate collection: artists, scholars, philosophers, recluses, and some who seemed to defy categorization entirely. Many claimed to recognize faces they'd only ever seen in historical portraits or obscure cinematic reels. Conversations flowed with an unearthly intensity, touching upon topics that felt simultaneously profound and utterly nonsensical. Time itself seemed to lose all meaning within those walls. Hours blurred into minutes, nights into fleeting moments. One attendee described a ballroom filled with dancers, their movements elegant and otherworldly, yet when he tried to focus on an individual, their features would subtly shift, becoming someone else entirely. Another spoke of a grand banquet, where the food and drink were unlike anything earthly, dissolving on the tongue with a taste of pure memory. But this is where the real mystery truly begins. The stories of the gala are not just vague, they are actively contradictory in their specifics, yet uncannily identical in their overall feeling. It's as if everyone experienced the same emotional arc, the same profound sense of wonder and connection, but the precise details, who they spoke to, what they ate, what music played, became fluid, almost interchangeable. This collective distortion is profoundly unsettling. How can a shared event produce such disparate yet emotionally resonant memories? And then, the morning after, almost universally, attendees described waking up in their own beds, far from Blackwood Manor, with only a vague sense of a profound life-altering experience. There were no souvenirs, no tickets, no physical proof of attendance, just the echo of a dream, vivid and powerful, yet frustratingly intangible. A dream that everyone else seemed to have shared. The most terrifying aspect of this phenomenon lies not in the gala itself, but in its aftermath and the chilling realization that slowly began to dawn on those who claimed to have been there. Years passed, and the fleeting memories of the Vanishing Gala remained, a cherished secret for many, a source of quiet wonder. But then a handful of individuals, driven by an insatiable curiosity, attempted to find concrete evidence. They returned to the coordinates where Blackwood Manor stood, only to find it exactly as it appeared on maps, a dilapidated, abandoned shell. No evidence of a grand party, no recent renovations, nothing. Local archives offered no mention of such an event. Newspaper databases yielded no results. Even discussions with local historians and residents drew blank stares, or worse, vague, unsettling warnings against dwelling on such fanciful notions. It was as if society had collectively agreed that the night of the Vanishing Gala simply did not happen. The horrifying climax arrived when several supposed attendees independently made a truly disturbing discovery. They found, hidden away in old photo albums or digital folders, pictures they distinctly remembered taking at the gala, or so they thought. The images would invariably be blurred, distorted, or impossibly aged, containing figures whose faces were just beyond recognition, or details that made no logical sense. One person described a photograph of themselves dancing with a woman in a vibrant red dress, only to realize the dress was a style from the early 1900s, and the woman's features upon closer inspection seemed to be composed of countless shimmering insect-like facets. Another found a selfie from what they swore was the gala's grand staircase, but the background showed not opulent decor but a raw, uncarved cave wall. These images were not just vague, they were actively wrong, twisting the memory, challenging the very fabric of experienced reality. It was as if their minds had tried to fill a void with something tangible, and the resulting creations were monstrous. The implication was shattering. If the gala never happened in the tangible world, then what exactly had they experienced? Were the memories implanted? Was it a mass hallucination, a shared delusion, or something far more sinister, something that had fed on their perception, creating an elaborate, ephemeral feast for some unseen entity? To this day, the night of the Vanishing Gala remains an anomaly, a persistent whisper in the dark corners of the internet, a question mark hanging over the very nature of collective memory and consensual reality. Was it a sophisticated psychological experiment, a fleeting glimpse into an alternate dimension, or perhaps a manifestation of a collective human desire for a moment of transcendent magic? The lack of evidence, the active erasure of its existence, only deepens the mystery. It forces us to confront an unnerving possibility that sometimes the most profound experiences are those that cannot be verified, those that exist only in the fragile, shifting landscape of our minds. What if the most authentic experiences are those that leave behind no trace, challenging our dependence on tangible proof? And more unsettlingly, what if the true gala wasn't a physical event at all, but a deliberate psychological manipulation designed to harvest something intangible from its guests? We may never uncover the objective truth behind the Vanishing Gala, but its spectral presence serves as a potent reminder. Just because something isn't officially recorded doesn't mean it didn't profoundly impact those who experienced it. It teaches us about the unsettling power of absence and how the vacuum left by a missing event can often be more terrifying than any confirmed horror. If you're fascinated by the boundaries of reality and the unsettling influence of the unseen, then you need to see our next dive into the enigmatic world of phenomena that shouldn't exist, exploring the whispered truths of the echoing city.